Are we live? Revis, are you there? He should be here with us shortly. Hopefully. Revis?
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh, we got Techie, Revis. We're live in 1 minute, y'all. Tall boy hanging out with y'all. It is the Lab Tech Show. Bear with us. We're working on some construction over here. We're still keeping it moving. We're making magic happen over here at the Lab Tech Show, all right? Techie, you there? Wave to the people, man. Wave to them.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here.
Uh-oh, do we have any delay over here? That's not good.
There is a delay.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see what we can do. Figure this out. Bear with me. And we have a major delay.
There is a extreme delay. Like beyond delay.
Are you plugged in via Ethernet? Uh-oh, we got a problem. We're going to have to figure this out. We're live in 5, y'all. Hey, let's go. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Tall boy here hanging out with you at the Lab Tech Show. Hope all is well with you. Thank you guys for hanging out with us each and every Wednesday. Thank you if you're new to the show, new to the channel. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We know we're going to probably have some people tapping in here later on and seeing what's going on with us. And we also have that giveaway for that mouse. I see some people have come back that have registered for it. You have to be present to win unless you were one of those names that were there last week. Okay, so those are the only ones that were exempt. Anyway, forgot to hit the record button. Well, we're recording now. Hope all is well. Let me just do that introduction once again. My name is Tall Boy, and our job here is to simplify tech in a language that you understand. Tonight, we have a guest. This gentleman is a tech enthusiast, and I think he's more than an enthusiast. This gentleman, he knows his tech, and he knows it very well that he said, you know what, Tall Boy, I'm gonna answer questions to the best of my ability, which I think it's by far, the ability is by far, I think he can answer pretty much anybody's questions and assist us. And he's basically going to do a whole segment of, if you have a question, a tech question, whatever it may be, as long as within reason, you ask it and he will answer it. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Mr. Techie, and they go call him Techie to the rescue. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me on the program. I'm really excited to meet all of you, to hear your questions, to discuss some of these stories that are going on. I mean, literally, like what's happening in the world of tech, things break really fast. So even now, there's breaking news happen. But I'm really excited to talk about the stories that we have for today.
That's what's up, man. We got to figure out what's going on with this delay. I've lowered your, let's see, your video quality, which should help, but I don't know. It's probably got to catch up to it. I'm not sure. We got to see what we can do to make that happen. But we also want to go ahead and continue to go in the show because I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. We got some people in the building that are checking in. Hey, Mama D, she says, hey, I'm here. Did you pop up on the screen? Where did you go? Okay. It's not acting like it want to act right today. All right, there you go. Should pop up, hopefully. No, it did not. Okay, we got all kind of problems. So what happened was, and I do apologize, guys, we had a little small tech issue earlier today where I had to reset the computer and I did not save everything the way it was supposed to be saved. So unfortunately, I was trying to scramble before 8 o'clock to get this up and going. And this looks like one of those issues where some comments, we're going to have to just figure it out as we go. And we'll see what happens. But I do want to continue. I was going to go down the list of people that were tapping in, but I got to get this screen to come up, and it's not popping up the way I want it to pop up just yet. So bear with me. It will be up there sooner than later. And let's see, does it work there? There we go. There we go. Did it pop up there? It still did not pop up. We are live? No, that's not it. Okay, something's not right. We're having all kind of tech situations here today. Techie, come to the rescue, man. Come save me, man.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I'm able to hear you. You're able to hear me. So that means that we're not having any type of buffering or latency as far as our communication and conversation. But what's fascinating is that the broadcast that is going out there, as far as YouTube is concerned, it seems like it's having trouble gathering all the data and presenting it in a level where it's showcasing it the way that it needs to be. So I don't know. It's really fascinating because I mean, what comes to my mind as well is that, and you might not know anything about this, but there's a really popular website that's out there that's called Reddit, and it was down for over 2 hours, probably even longer. So this is just making me think about that because I was helping a client out the other day and we were trying to do something on Reddit, and literally we kept facing all these delays. It was delay after delay after delay after delay. And then we realized, oh wow, there's parts of the internet that's shutting down. So it is not surprising that something like this is taking place.
This is very interesting. So we're going to try this one more time. I know we have comments in here and I know it works. So we're going to, I'm one of those adamant people, but clearly I'm putting the comments on the screen and it keeps giving us we're live in 30 and it's like, it's not working. So why is it not working when it says we're supposed to be live? It's supposed to be popping up our questions. So I don't know. We'll figure that part out. But we got our word of the day, and I definitely want to make sure we get that situated because we got my man Revis online with us. And Revis, hold on. He's somewhere in the United States, from L.A. to New York. Where are you, Revis? Don't forget to honk the horn. Revis, we got our word of the day, man, and it's called Nadir. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man.
Okay, where are you calling us from, man? I know you're all over the world, and we want to know where you're tapping in with us tonight.
Well, I'm tapping in from Bossier City, Louisiana.
Ooh.
Right outside of Shreveport.
Bossier City. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Nadir. Nadir refers to the lowest or worst point of something. And they say when used in astronomy, nadir describes the point of the celestial sphere that is directly opposite the zenith and vertically downward from the observer. Now, I don't know what none of that means. You have the floor. It's all yours, man. Nadir. Break it down for us, Revis.
Started from the nadir, now we're here.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. The trucking industry right now is about where the nadir is. That's a nadir. It's all the way at the bottom right now. Freight down, the rates are down, everything is down at the moment. So trust me, nadir I can really relate to right now.
So when you say trucking is down, what do you mean by that?
I'm talking about the freight and the rates. Right now, usually January and February, and usually mid-March it starts coming back up. But right now, I see really at its lowest point.
Okay. So basically the lowest point and the rates are real low is what you're saying.
Yes. They don't want to pay no money. They say we appreciate you, but they don't want to pay no money.
Interesting. Okay. Um, okay. So basically the rates are real low of you to get your load is what you're saying.
Well, the freight is low too. So trying to get a load, just like now, I'm over in Shreveport area, and there's no loads right now. I
Oh,
delivered my load earlier today, but I'm trying to get out of here right now. I can't get out of here yet.
okay. All right. So it's the lowest point, the lowest or worst point of something. So basically, at the top of the year, people don't have any money, so they don't have no money, so all the sales are down. So is that something like a nadir?
That is definitely a nadir.
Okay.
But it's income tax time now, so everything's supposed to start rising now.
Okay. All right. All right. Techie, what do you think of this word of the day called nadir? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that I need to study Nadir a little bit more to gain a better understanding of what the true essence of it. But the idea of the lowest point in fortunes of a person or organization, um, just thinking about that, I don't like the idea of someone being at their lowest point because when you think about someone being at their lowest point, that just means that they're not necessarily at a point where they can go even lower. All they can do is go higher. So I see the nadir as a opportunity of a positive outlook where you can be like, you know what? I'm at this point right now and I'm going to pick myself up and know I'm going to do even better than I am now because I'm at my lowest point and I can only do better instead of I can only do worse. That's at least my thoughts.
Okay. I'm with it. All right. Um, so if you're talking about the lowest point of something, then basically what you're saying is it can only go up from here. But today we're just talking about nadir as being the lowest point or the worst point of something. So we've all had our nadir moments. And how did you overcome that? Let's just look at it from that standpoint.
Yeah, so looking at it from that standpoint, I've had that situation myself where it was a case where things were just not working out, and we ended up needing to make a decision of, okay, there's mold in this house. What do we do? Do we just go and let ourselves be in this situation, or do we do something about it? And we packed our stuff up and we said, you know what? We're going to sell our stuff. We're going to sell the house and put ourselves into a better situation. So we took ourselves from that low point and we're now rising ourselves up from that situation.
Okay. All right. Revis, what you think? I'm rocking with you. Like,
I, I like what he said. I really like what he said because once you get to the lowest point, there's nowhere to go but up.
okay. All right. There it is. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. Do I have this here? Let's see. I'm trying to find the screen of what I'm looking for, and I think I may have found it. Let's see. What do you guys think in the comments of the word of the day? Let us know what you think of the word of the day. Put in the comments one, I could see myself using the word. Two, nah, not for me. Put three, he explained it perfectly. Or four, it is a word that has to grow on me. Put in the comments, what do you think of the word of the day, nadir? All right. While we work on that, I should have been doing this earlier. We have our stash stock party of the evening, and our stash stock stash stock party of the evening is. Let's see if I can find it. Put in the comments real briefly what you think. Pick the respective number, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And as you're working on that, I will work on getting our word of the day our stash stock party up. Okay, let me see what we got here. Put in the comments what you think. All right, so we got a couple responses here. Let's see, what do we have? 2, nah, not for me. It's a word that has to grow on me. All right, Revis, man, any words you want to say before we tap up out of here?
Hey, the only thing I need to say is, hey, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and share this page.
All right, that's all you can ask for. I definitely appreciate you, man.
Hit that notification. Yeah, make sure you hit that notification bell too, so you'll never miss this awesome content.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, man. I'll talk to you a little bit later. All right.
All right, later, everyone.
All right. All right. Our stash stock party of the evening is iRobot. It's iRobot. All right. You have until midnight to get your piece of stash stock. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing. All you have to do is go to stash.com/party. Sign in or sign up. And if you would like to own a piece of incremental stock of iRobot, it's absolutely free. It's yours if you sign up. If you would like to own or get free stock, if you click the link in the description of this video, you click the link, you spend 20, you get 20. So all you got to do is click on the link. If you don't want to spend it, that's perfectly fine with me. There's no hard feelings, okay? But tonight's product offering is iRobot. So you have 3 hours and 43 minutes and 33 seconds to literally own a piece of iRobot. All right, that's pretty much it. All right, got another question for you real briefly before we tap up in here. Let me see, where did I do with it? There we go. All right, so I got a couple questions. Let's see, what do I think of the word of the day? I could see myself using the word. 17% said, nah, not for me. And the majority of you guys are saying it's a word that has to grow with me. Yeah, okay. So that's what we got. All right, can't wait to answer the questions is what Techie said. All right, so we got a couple articles here that I want to share with you guys. And before I do that, I need you to tell us, what is your adult beverage for tonight? Whatever it may be. It could be water, juice, alcohol, wine, beer, whatever it may be. Put your thoughts put what you're drinking tonight into the comments. I'll come back to it and see what you guys are drinking on. All right. All right. So Techie, we got a couple articles that I want to discuss tonight. All right. And before we go into what we're discussing tonight, as far as asking questions, and I think you can see the questions in the description. We will answer those. Don't forget tonight, some part of the show, you got to be present to win. If you want to win that Lexip mouse, that's right, that Lexip mouse. If you want to win that mouse that I'm using right here, the one with the joystick right there on the side, if you want to win that mouse, it's absolutely yours for free if you fill out that form. You have until 8:30, so you have literally 13 more minutes to fill out that registration form, and then it cuts off. All right, so I'm giving everyone a fair shot of winning that Lexip NP93 mouse. Got some great feedback from the team over in France from Lexip, and they said, hey, tall boy, if let's just try and get more people and let's get more awareness out of it. All right, so hopefully you guys will fill out that form. It's also in the description, and you have to be present because at any given time we can do the giveaway. All right, so the cutoff time is 8:30. If you do not fill it out, you do not win. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's see what we have here. Let's go into our first article. Techie.
Yeah.
There's a thing out called Chat GPT. Do you mind sharing with people what Chat GPT is?
Yes. Chatgpt is a program that was made by a company called OpenAI.
Okay.
So the way that it works is, it's as if you have your own personal assistant. So you will ask whatever type of question that you want of ChatGPT, and then it responds back with the best possible answer that it can figure out based upon its current programming.
Okay.
So as a result, there's a lot of people who are starting to use ChatGPT in place of normal human beings, where instead of hiring out people to help them with tasks like putting together a letter, a press release, or any other type of task, even the fact that you could type in, here are all the different food products that are currently in my refrigerator. I would like to have a meal that utilizes those products. So you can do endless amount of things using ChatGPT.
Okay. Well, look, I got a video that I want to share with folks who are not familiar with ChatGPT. I know some of you guys are like, hey, I know what ChatGPT is, but there's some that don't. Tech Troublemaker and I, we talked about ChatGPT. I think at the end around December time, at the end of the month, going into the new year. But I mean, it's out. And we also are going to be talking about GPT-4. So before we get to GPT-4, let's talk about what is ChatGPT. All right, so stand by. Let's see what we got here.
Back in 2022, on the last day of November, ChatGPT was revealed to the world. In a matter of days, it became a viral sensation. But how did that happen? And exactly what is ChatGPT? OpenAI ChatGPT is a chatbot created as an advancement in the artificial intelligence industry. Behind its knowledge lies a massive amount of data, including books, articles, and web pages. ChatGPT doesn't just store all this data, it analyzes it. Basically, it thinks and acts like a human. It can understand various requests, effectively communicate in 90 different languages, and even recall details of an ongoing conversation. And then it runs past the competing tools by being accessible for free. There are thousands of examples of how to use ChatGPT already. You can make it write a cover letter for a new job, ask for an essay, give it a math problem. You can give ChatGPT a snippet of programming code to fix, and it will find the issue. Besides technical questions, you can go the creative route too, and request a poem in the style of Shakespeare. ChatGPT will come up with perfectly rhyming lines. So, what if you ask it to come up with a way to hack a website? It will say no. But here's the issue. While ChatGPT can decline harmful requests, it's not foolproof. There already have been ChatGPT examples of people getting around the restrictions with creative prompts, which could lead to things like cybercriminals exploiting the system to create ChatGPT malware. It's only natural that such a technological advancement will bring problems alongside solutions, and questions alongside answers. Will ChatGPT replace Google? Will it take over human jobs? That's a topic for another time. This was ChatGPT Explained. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
All right, there it is. So ChatGPT, you can literally put whatever you want inside of ChatGPT, and it will pretty much process what you want. Do you want a recipe? Do you want to know how to fix a car? Do you want to have it create a song for you? It literally can do all of those things plus many more things that can go in your mind of what are the best travel tips to go to Greece? What's the best what's the best entry into the White House? So you type in ChatGPT and it type in whatever your question is, and it would literally output whatever it is that you want in a matter of moments. Am I saying that right, Techie?
You're doing a great job of explaining it. Yes.
All right. So by all means, and I know we have a video delay, but the audio is right there on point. So I'm trying to find a way to have you on screen at the same time, because it's I don't know why we're having this delay, but I mean I have you on screen now. But just tell us more about what you think of this Chat GPT.
So ChatGPT is definitely causing a lot of fear, especially amongst those that are in the publishing department. So, for example, there was one science fiction magazine that started rejecting people that were submitting in books and documents of sci-fi stories that were written by ChatGPT and not written by the human. There's been a big backlash from the author community saying, well, if you use ChatGPT to go in to write a book and you're putting it out there on Amazon and you're self-publishing it or doing whatever you're doing with it, are you technically plagiarizing? Or are you using a tool like a hammer? Because we look at some schools, colleges, educators, etc., there are some professors who are sitting there saying you cannot use ChatGPT. If you use ChatGPT, you're literally plagiarizing. However, there are others that are saying we are entering a world where AI is the future. This is the equivalent of when the iPhone was introduced to the world, and even though there were plenty of smartphones beforehand, the iPhone managed to then create a market where then they came out with the Droid. So now you've got the iPhone, you have the Android, you had all these other innovations that took place in the smartphone marketplace, and it went from everybody having a phone that's connected to the wall in the kitchen to everybody having a phone in their pocket. The same ideas are happening when it comes to AI technology, where we're going to be noticing a lot of our literature is not going to be written by human beings and is going to be written by AI technology such as ChatGPT. So there's a lot of real world examples that are being used. And to end this thought process, when it comes to some of these professors, because they're saying that this is a tool like a hammer, essentially it matters what type of prompts you end up putting into ChatGPT. So there are some people who are AI enthusiasts that are saying that it is their work because they took the time to put in certain prompts that cause the results of ChatGPT talking in a certain way versus if somebody else did it and put in a different set of prompts. So, I mean, I guess you could ask your audience and say, do you believe utilizing AI technology, is that cheating and plagiarism? Or is that the next form of DJing artistry and where our life is going next?
Interesting way of putting that. I guess I'm one of the guys that tries to see the positive in everything, but like you said, there's people that are gonna do some negative things with it. It's just the way the world is shaped. For every positive, there's a negative. So, I mean, I think it's um, how do you utilize it to where it's being utilized for good use, and people are not cheating on tests. People are not trying to find ways to do things that they should probably not be doing. How do you go about doing that?
So here's the question. Is it cheating? You have to answer that question first. If you can go and answer the question, is it cheating? Then that goes and takes you to the next level. Because I could go and I could say that if you went to a math test and you had a calculator, that you were technically cheating. But I gotta tell you, there was a point where all of a sudden calculators were allowed on math tests. You were allowed to bring the calculator with you. So, is that cheating? That's where you need to think about, is the AI the equivalent of when we had a calculator in our math room
Mm-hmm.
and we could use that on a test?
Mm-hmm.
Or should we ban the calculator?
I think it's in the beginning stages. So personally, for me, you're asking people to write a song. You're asking people to write a book. You're asking someone to write a publication or an article. Is it really coming from your thoughts? Are you really being non-biased, or are you just allowing the computer to do that? Because if that's the case, jobs are now officially gone because you're allowing the AI or the technology to take over it, right?
Or we can argue that new jobs are being created in the case of that there's going to be a generation that's going to have to be trained on proper grammar, because if you go and give bad information to the AI technology, it is not going to output the right bit of information that you're looking for. So if you put a "the" in the wrong place and you don't actually curate your prompts in a proper way, it's technically the equivalent of coding. So I don't know. It's something where a tech person like me isn't necessarily going to broadcast what the answer is to that question, but more so people that are watching this show right now, the ones that don't necessarily understand about technology and they want to demystify what technology is all about, that mass group, that is what the story is going to be. And I'll give you a perfect example. When Google came out with their glasses, everybody ended up starting to call people who wore those Google glasses glassholes. So that didn't come from the tech community. The tech community was really excited about Google Glasses. That came from people who didn't understand what was going on and saw that there was this person wearing this future looking type of glasses that had a camera, and they happened to be in the bathroom, and oh God, don't look at me because are you videotaping me? I don't know how tech works, but I'm afraid that I don't want these glasses here.
Gotcha. I got a question for you from Awesome Wood Things. He says, right now, Chat GPT is influenced by what humans put on the internet. What happens when the internet is mostly AI generated content? I can't make out everything that he's saying. What happens when mostly AI, what does it say? AI generated content that, let's see what we have here. It's not coming up on the screen. Let's see if I can get it to come up over here on this platform. Tech issues today. Wow. Wow. Who would have ever thought?
I'm telling you, like this
Hey,
is
this
this
is
is
what happens
great.
when you have a live show, man. It's literally a live
I
show.
love it.
So this is what happens.
It's
Uh,
clearly live, clearly
uh,
happening.
let's see. Let's see if I can get those questions to come up. I'm sorry, it's so many characters that it allows. So let me see if I can pull it up another way.
Let me see if I can find it. Who was it that mentioned it? Awesome Wood. Okay,
Yeah,
I
Awesome Wood
found it.
Things. Yeah, you found
I
it.
found it. I found it. Right now, ChatGPT is influenced by what humans put on the internet. What happens when the internet is mostly AI generated content that in turn will influence ChatGPT? What a
There,
question.
there you go.
Well, we're going to be creating an echo chamber.
Hmm.
So the AI generated content might lead to self reinforcing feedback loops where they generate content that's based on the output of other AI models. And that could amplify biases, which might be a problem, especially when it comes to perspectives of AI technology. Quality control is also going to be a big issue as far as depending upon that AI technology. If they go and they make themselves all believe something as fact, even though it's not fact, that could cause some issues. And then if we think about it, human AI collaboration will become more essential to the survival because we're going to need to be able to help guide the AI systems and teach them. Think of it like you have a baby and you need to make sure that you've got the baby going the right path. Otherwise, it could end up in a really bad situation. And then let's not forget about AI regulations and ethics that are concerned because the content as the generations of AI goes through, we need to make sure that there's some type of insurance that the AI systems are designed with the intention of benefiting society and beautifying our nation versus minimizing the potential harm and issues that could result from AI feeding itself.
All right. So, Mama D says, I guess she's asking, do you mean robots? Like she's like, what is AI? So it's the artificial intelligence. Break down AI and let her break this down a little bit more easier for her. Let from because she's thinking that this is robots. No, it's a computer generated, and it's asking you ask it questions, and it's literally pumping out the information. So it's not
Yeah.
a robot. It's not a physical robot that you can touch, talk. No, it's right now you can go to Google. Oh no, excuse me. It's Microsoft Edge, right? That they're using this on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can literally pose the question and it will give you what you're looking for. Right now, we're accustomed to going to Google Chrome, right? And then we type whatever we're looking for and it'll give you articles. It'll give you links to click on. Well, Edge is now rolling out something called GPT-4, which is a whole nother level of this here. And like I said, I didn't want to go over your heads with this, but I figured you guys are going to be hearing about this on the news. You're going to be hearing about this, about teachers sending letters home saying that your kids cannot use these type of use this resource, use this as a source to be able to pull your content. And then you might just say, hey, I just need a recipe for it. What is the website, real briefly? While I'm talking, maybe you can look it up, and so we can let people know. It's absolutely free right now, but then they do have a paid version to where you're able to get more output out of it, if that makes sense. So while you're looking up the website, go ahead, Tiki.
Yeah, the website is chat.openai.com, and I need to make a clarification. The only ones that are allowed to pay are businesses that apply for the ability to pay. So even if you apply, you can't be guaranteed a slot in being allowed to pay for the more, I don't even know the right word, the advanced,
for the more
level
advanced
feature.
features. So that's for the GPT-4. But right now, people can go to chat.openai and they can test this out themselves. Is that correct?
Yeah, they can go to chat.openai.com. However, if there's a large user base of paid users that are using ChatGPT at the time, then it's going to delay your ability of using it. And you might find yourself not necessarily being able to use it during the day times that you want to use it. So as a result, you have to wait in line for your turn when you're using the free version at this moment.
Got you. Reba says, each generation is getting dumber and lazier. You don't have to think for yourself anymore. Hey, you're right, man. Also, I want to get back to this. We get back to what awesome wood things, and then I want to transition into this other article because I did not know the time is moving by real fast. Plagiarism is copying an existing work. What Chat GPT generates is not existing work. It's created on the spot and has not been published.
Yeah. And that's the thing you have to understand, just to kind of answer the original question about the robots. So you can have a robot and you can have the robot move its arms and legs and however you're going to be doing it. But what AI technology is, it's like inserting a brain in the robot. So if you think about the Wizard of Oz, how the Scarecrow only wanted to have a brain, and then once the Scarecrow had a brain, was able to be intelligent enough to do more things, you would then have to have seen some of the sequel to Wizard of Oz to understand that. But essentially, the idea is that the artificial intelligence is set up by a human being, which then uses learning. So as other human beings ask it questions or teaches it things, and it notices that there's patterns that take place, they then adapt those thoughts as their own. And eventually it comes to a point where that brain can be inserted into a robot, and then that robot would then be able to figure out what to do. So now think about it, elderly homes, you could have a robot that goes and serves drinks at an elderly home and knows exactly which drink to serve each person because of the artificial intelligence that's inside that brain.
All right. So real briefly, Mama D, Awesome Wood Thing says, a robot is a physical thing, metal and circuitry. AI is an artificial brain, and that brain can exist in an app or website. That's what we're talking about here. A website called Chat GPT. So, Mama D, you are an educator. You could literally just say, write my lessons plans for whatever the topic may be, and it will literally output in less than 30 seconds your whole lesson plan of whatever that topic may be, whether it's health, whether it's science. It will literally create whatever it is. I want to talk about, create a lesson plan on Jupiter, create a lesson plan on health and fitness, create a lesson plan on, and it will literally create and generate whatever you want in less than 20 to 30 seconds. You can literally say, write a sermon for me if you're a pastor speaking on love and children, and it will literally give you the actual scriptures, and it will give you, its wording, and all you have to do is just literally copy and paste and memorize it, and it came straight from Chat GPT. That's how intense this is. We that grew up in the 70s, we grew up, I hate to say it, we grew up using encyclopedias, and we had to learn it, and it just went in our brains. And like Reva said, this new generation, they're just getting lazier and lazier and lazier. So this is the good side and the bad side of tech. If you look at it, depending on which way you're looking at it, right? The bad side is kids are getting lazier and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. The good side is look at where technology is taking us. The question is, which side of the fence are you on? I don't want to harp too much on it because we're almost at that hour mark, and I had another article, but put your questions, put a Q in, and Techie is going to ask any question that it may be. All right. So as long as it's within reason, if Techie says we're going to see if we can pull it up on the screen, but we're having some latency issues and I got to find a way to get him back on the screen. And I've been trying to work diligently behind the scenes to get him on the screen to show or talk about whatever it is. But before we do all of that,
Don't worry about that. You can hear voice. That's all that matters.
all right, before we do all that, check this out. Hey everybody, it is the Lab Tech Show. Follow us on social, YouTube, come on, Instagram, and you can go to Facebook. It's called the Lab Tech Show. Will you join us? The Lab. Come on. We're trying to break down tech. We're trying to simplify it. We're trying to tell it to you in a language that you can completely understand. Will you follow the channel, the Lab Tech Show? There it is. Come on. All right, let's see what we have here. I wanted to go into the other article, but I'm going to cancel that article. And if we have time at the end, we'll switch it up and see if we can get it at a later time and date. So if you have a question about your phone, computer, how to work something that is technical, like your Fire Stick or whatever it may be, Techie, tell them what are the parameters that they can ask your question.
Literally anything having to do with technology. I mean, just to give you a background, I used to work at Apple for over 12 years, where literally I would answer people's questions. So, and if there's anything I don't know, I know how to do research to get the best possible answer, or at least figure out what direction you need to go to get to that answer. So, yeah, let's go for it.
All right, so here's your first question. All right, your first question says, I'll make sure I don't have that cut off. It says, on average, are NAS devices noisy? Fan noise, spinning disk noise, etc. Having a large amount of network storage in the same room I record audio would be ideal.
Got it. Yes. So, first of all, we probably should explain to your audience a little bit more about that.
So hold on. Before you do that, Awesome Wood Things is very advanced, whereas somebody like a Mama D or a Lisa Maria are like, what is a NAS? So give them a brief overview of what a NAS is, and then go into Awesome Wood Things question. Thank you, Awesome Wood Things, for being so awesome.
Ow.
So yeah, we're talking about network attached storage devices. So that's kind of like a personal storage box for your digital files that you access from multiple devices in a home or an office. And it's a central shared hard drive that connects to your home office network, allowing you to store and access files, photos, media, et cetera, on your smartphones, tablets. So it just keeps your files safe and organized and makes it so that you've created your own network. That's probably the most simplified way that I can explain it. But they are designed modernly with noise reduction in mind. So some models are marketed as being quiet or fanless, and the devices might be suitable for your needs. So think about solid state drives, for example, or cooling systems. There's temperature controlled systems that are out there. There's all types of enclosure details. Here's something you might not even realize as far as noise is concerned: placement. So no matter what model that you get, you can actually reduce noise by placing your device inside a cabinet or a shelf or use some type of sound dampening material. But you also need to make sure there's proper ventilation that's available because you don't want to allow overheating. That's why you would tend to find a lot of devices like what was being asked about the network attached storage in closets, so that way you don't have to listen to the noise. But I imagine in the case that you're looking for, you probably have to leave it on your desk. But that's what I would do, is I would look out and find out what's out there. B&H Photo, great resource. You can go and you can ask them about that, and they've got a lot of different options that's available. That's the most simplistic way that I can talk about network attached storage. Thanks for the question.
You got another question from Awesome Wood Things, and he's very advanced, guys, so bear with us. He says VR or AR, which will be embraced by society and which will fizzle out. So VR is virtual reality, and
Yep.
AR is augmented reality. So can you break down real briefly what VR is and what AR is, and then answer Awesome Wood Things question?
Cool. So VR, you would hear Meta. Meta happens to be the parent company of Facebook, and they have what's known as Oculus Rift. That is an example of virtual reality. So you put the headset on and you are engulfed in that world. That means you do not see anything of the outside world. Augmented reality puts technology and layers it on the world itself. So imagine that you are trying to go to a bar and you happen to be lost. You put on your augmented reality, and then you'll see arrows showing directions, or maybe even the bar itself. As you're moving your device around, you'll then see the place that you're going to highlight in a color or some other tech related, where you can still see the real world, but there are technology overlays that are part of that. So it's interesting that you talk about AR, because Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, he's been very interested in the augmented reality space, and he's been talking a lot about it. So if Apple comes out with any type of goggles that are augmented reality, there is a very good chance that it's going to be focused heavily on the augmented reality side and not the virtual reality side. But Apple could surprise us. They could go and they could say, we came out with a virtual reality goggles, augmented reality goggles, and insert random thing here. And then they repeat it over and over again. And then they say, wait a second, it's all one device, which would surprise a lot of people, because usually devices are either virtual reality or augmented reality. But augmented reality, I believe, is going to be a bigger focal point, because people can use that, especially in construction and on the job, by putting on those goggles and then know, turn this knob, cut this cable, etc., where the technology will be overlaid pointing that out. So from a safety perspective, I believe augmented reality is going to be more practical and virtual reality is going to be more entertainment based.
There you go. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions, you see the level that Techie has. So if you're not on that level, please do not feel intimidated. Even though we can't get him on the screen, we have audio. Okay, so he can hear you. He can see the question. So just put a Q in front of your question, and whatever it may be, whether it's how do I get my phone to do this? How do I get my computer to do that? How do I get my Netflix to do A, B, C, D? Whatever you want, this is your chance to get your question answered in real time. So whatever that question may be, please share the show. Tell somebody what we have going on over here, because people have tech questions, right? And y'all are always saying, Tallboy, how do you do this? Tallboy, how do you do that? And I'll say, I'll get back with you offline. Here's your opportunity to get your question answered in real time. And it didn't cost you anything, because Techie has an actual service that he charges people to do this. So he was gracious enough to come on to the show and answer any and every question that you guys have. And you can see Awesome Wood Things has literally said, I'm going to pose these crazy questions, and he's been able to answer the level of questioning very profoundly. All right. So while you guys are writing your questions, I do have a questionnaire for you. What do you think of Chat GPT? Put in the comments 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Way cool. I need this in my life. This is too much. Put a number 2 there. Number 3, it should be limited to paying customers. 4, too much tech. All right. So please put in the comments. We'll come back to this and see how that does. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you have any questions, please put a Q in front of your question and we will get back to you. All right. So you guys are always asking me how to go about doing stuff. I got someone here. All right. So let me know what you think. All right. So while we're doing that, I told you you had to be present to win. So let's see if I can get this on the screen real quick while the Chat GPT question is being taken care of. And let's see if we can find our winner. See, you never know when we might do a giveaway. And we got our names. And I thought it would have been more people, but unfortunately it wasn't. So it's our usual suspects, as they call it. That's here, and let's try to see. We're gonna do our giveaway now. So we have 7, 8 people, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people registered, and I guess you guys did not believe that it was true or it was real, but those are our names that we have, and this is what you're walking away with tonight. You're going to get this mouse that is the Lexip NP93. It is the mouse that allows you to use the joystick to scroll up or scroll down. That's the joystick right there on the right-hand side. And then you press up or down and it will switch tabs. So switch tabs at the top of your screen. You can use this with Microsoft Word if you're into 3D gaming, 3D architectural design, Adobe Suite, Microsoft Office Suite. This literally just changes the whole landscape of the game. All right. So this is what you're walking away with. And I'm waiting for questions. All right. So while we're waiting on the questions, I'm going to show you a quick 1-minute video of what the Lexip 93 is. And when we come back, we're going to get our winner. All right. That's what we're going to do. Check this out. Do we not have audio? Okay. Why do we not have audio here? So it has the ceramic feet that allows you to slide it on anything. It can be on a desk, it could be on a hard surface, it could be on a mouse. Let's see. This is really, they sold it as a gaming mouse, but they have adjustable weights. And then it has your DPI that you can literally click and it can move real fast. You have over 16 million colors that you can make it turn colors to. And you can get more. And the software is absolutely free. So that's pretty much it. So I'm not sure why we were not able to get audio, but that's what you're winning tonight. You're going to win a Lexip NP93. Let's find out who our winner is tonight. Our winner is, come on. It says click to spin. I click. There we go. Find out. You got to be present to win. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Okay, Revis. Okay, Revis, you're our winner tonight. You got a Lexip NP93. I'll make sure. Shoot me your address and email, and I will forward it over to the team. You are our lucky winner. Our Mr. Word of the Day guy, Revis Brown. You are our winner. Congratulations. All right. Let's see. Do we have any questions on... What do we have here? Do we have any questions? If not, we're going to go to our next article. All right. Here's Shirley P's question. She says, see if I can get that on the screen. She says, how can I free up hard drive space on my old MacBook Air?
Oh man, this is something I actually do with my clients. Like, people pay me for that. That's funny. All right, fine. All right, so you need to empty the trash. People don't realize that when they delete files, they're moved to the trash, and they need to take that out. The other thing is uninstalling unused applications. And essentially, when it comes to understanding your system, if you go to the Apple in the upper left-hand corner and then choose About This Mac, followed by Storage, and then Manage, there's a button that says Optimize Storage. And so when you do that with optimizing storage, it literally allows the system to then, the best way of putting it, to go and to figure out, okay, what are you actually using? What are you not using? So in that way, it just helps you more storage and driver space. Here's the craziest thing that people don't even realize when it comes to your space. It might be a case where you have a software update that's clogging up your system, and when you do your update because you haven't restarted the computer yet, when you restart the computer, it gives you a lot of your space back because it downloaded that entire area. But I'm going to open up my storage area just so I can read the optimized storage. So save space by automatically removing movies, TV shows that you've already watched from this Mac and more. And then the other thing is that sometimes if you go and you store your photos in iCloud and you pay for iCloud services, then you can actually have an optimized version of your photos. So that could be taking up space, but it's a case-by-case basis. I'm going to give you a... Do I do this? I don't know. Fine, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you a shortcut key on the Mac, so listen carefully. If you go into a folder while you're in Finder and you hold down Command, Option, and then tap on the letter I, it'll then pop up an information box. And then if you click on various folders, it'll tell you exactly how much space each of those folders are taking up. If you have a folder that has a bunch of things that you no longer need, great opportunity to get rid of that. But yeah, that's the basic version that I would say on how you can go and you can get your storage back on your Mac.
All right. And Shirley says, and I was going to do this later, but she wanted to know now. Thanks, Techie. How can I reach out to you as a potential client?
Oh my God, I love this. So you can text me, and I'll put the number in the chat as well, at 707-267-7778. And you know what? I will do a special for those that listen to this. So if you go and you say you listen to the Lab Tech Show and you're a first-time client, then I'm going to go and give you $50 off my normal price. So thank you for that.
$50. There you go. That's what's up. All right, let's see. We got another question. From Revis. Revis says, congratulations, Revis, on your prize. What do you think about all EV? What happens when you get caught in an extreme storm? How long will your charge last?
Got it. So first we need to explain what EV is. So those are electronic vehicles.
Yeah, electronic vehicles. Right, there you go.
Right. So those are like Tesla, for example. And so the thing is that there's more and more situations where as more people have EVs, there's going to be more EV systems that are set up so people can go and charge. But yeah, if you think about an extreme cold or hot weather, a EV battery might be less efficient than otherwise. So batteries typically need to be maintained at an optimal temperature. But yeah, you need to plan for your journey and understand that typically on these EV devices, they give you the idea of where charging stations are along the way, or you can use various mapping programs like Google Maps, Apple Maps, etc., because they've been adding more capability of showcasing where those EV charging stations are. But the thing is of preconditioning the battery, making sure that you get your batteries checked, drive efficiently as you can instead of using aggressive acceleration, use the energy saving features that are on the EV, keep the vehicle well maintained. All of that will help when it comes to extreme weather and will help especially if that impact takes place. But these EVs are getting larger batteries that are allowing longer and longer distances, and people are more well equipped to handle that technology.
Go ahead, tell him, Techie. Let's go. He's got it. All right, we got hit the spot 1006. Her question is, I set up a Google Voice number, but when I call out, it uses a dummy number. How do I change the setting where it shows my Google number?
Okay, so the question becomes: are you using Android or iOS or the web?
I think she's using iOS.
She's using iOS?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to open the Google Voice app on your iOS device, and then you're going to look for settings. And then under the call section, there's going to be a section that says find the caller ID outgoing option. You tap on that, and then you select my Google Voice number to use your Google Voice number as your caller ID for the outgoing call.
That's it?
That's it.
I don't even have a sound effect for you, man. Hold on. Your next question is Techie a cyclone?
Yes.
Mama D says, I need to know the difference between WhatsApp and Google Chat. Never used them before.
Okay. WhatsApp is owned by Meta. You notice that name's coming up again. So Meta, better people know it as Facebook, but Meta's the parent company. And it's got a lot of worldwide users. It requires a phone number to create an account, and it's designed for mobile devices. It also has a desktop version, but typically you would use the mobile device with a QR code to use that type of desktop version. It allows you to send files, images, videos, voice messages, etc. There are some communities that shun technology, but they're okay with their family members using something like WhatsApp as if that's their social media itself. So you can have all these communities. If someone's planning a birthday party, they might use WhatsApp and they'll have a WhatsApp group. If someone has maybe a certain hobby that they enjoy, they'll use a WhatsApp group. So that's how that works. If we're looking at Google Chat, that is part of Google Workspaces, and it's designed for personal or professional use. It requires a Google account, which is linked to an email address. It doesn't have to be a Gmail address, but more than likely is a Gmail address. And it kind of has that same capability of WhatsApp, but you'll notice the one thing that's interesting is that when it comes to the Google Chat, it doesn't have a phone number attached to it. So with WhatsApp, you would need a phone number. With Google Chat, you would need an email address.
Gotcha. All right. Last call. Any questions? Any more questions? Look, we're trying to bring it to you. And I got someone that can bring that fire and that heat. So, I mean, come on. So Hit the Spot says, so what is a cyclone?
I mean, I would define that possibly as a robot. That's ChatGPT.
The Techie is the next Marvel superhero. Hey, look, Techie has a whole outfit that he has. If you Google Techie to the rescue, you'll see all of his contacts, all of his information right there on the screen on Google, Safari, or Edge. It's all right there. And we met, and I mean the context was good. The conversation was great, and it was like, hey, I see what you're doing. I'm like, he says, I see what, and I get what you're doing. Let's find a way to collaborate. And I said, hey, without further ado, man, I'll give you an open platform over here. And he literally is bringing that heat over here. And yeah, so I mean, you guys said y'all wanted questions. I mean, he even answered Shirley's question, and he didn't want to do it, but hey, you got to go back and watch the replay. I'm telling you. Tell your friends about the Lab Tech Show. We're trying to bring you content that makes sense. We're trying to simplify tech in a language that you understand. And while I'm looking for the words to continue, Techie, tell them how they can find you, and tell them all about your business.
Yeah, totally. So you can find me at face.app/techie. That's where my social media is. I actually have subscription content. So people pay $4.99 a month, and then you can find out all the various tech news stories that I'm constantly posting, and you can be aware of that. I also have techie2therescue.com. With that, you can sign up, and I can mentor you in pretty much all kinds of different tech related things. There's someone, for example, that wanted a website and they wanted to learn how to build a website. So I was like, okay, cool. Taught them how to do that. So they got to watch as I was building it along with them so that they were able to edit themselves. Somebody else wanted video editing help. It runs the gamut. And if there's anything I don't know, so this is a perfect example. I have a lot of people that go and they say that at work, everybody seems to be really good at insert tech device here. I might not know exactly what that is, but I have enough experience that I might see commonalities between already existing software that I'm aware of, or I'm not afraid to go into say like, let me go and do some research and find out and figure out what the best answer or solution is for that particular thing. So as I was saying, 707-267-7778. That's 707-267-7778. Text me. Let me know that you heard me on the Lab Tech Show, and make sure to mention $50 off your first session so we can get you going.
We got to get this man back on the show, guys. Here's our question. What did you think of Chat GPT? 50% of you guys said, way cool, I need this in my life. And the other half said, too much tech, or this is just too much. So, yeah, so 2 and 3 is pretty much the same answer. So I can't be mad at you for that one, all right? So too much tech is what they're saying, but way cool, I need it in my life. Let's see. Do we have any other questions that I had in here? I wanted to talk about our other story, but we're at the hour mark. We've actually gone over, and someone has already said we need a whole hour of Q&A from you. So I've been getting requests, Techie. I've been getting requests to do a Q&A, and this was an impromptu. This was like, hey, let's just see where this goes. We've had some very off the wall questions, from awesome wood things to some of the basic questions to how to do something with Google Voice, and some of the other questions from Mama D on how to work what was it, Google Chat and WhatsApp. So I mean, it could be as simple or it can be as difficult as what is a NAS storage drive? So, and believe it or not, Techie, I actually went out and bought a NAS at the top of the year. So I have one, and I'm trying to master it now because I had planned to, when I'm out in the field, be able to tap into my network and be able to pull the files that I need. So, so I knew exactly where you were going when he was asking that question. So I guess my last question that I have for everyone is, before you get up out of here, let's see if we can start this interaction. What do you think? I got a quiz for you, Techie. How about this? We got a quiz for you. So, to the audience, what do you think of Techie to the rescue? He knows his stuff. Thank you for your assistance. He's all right. I don't want to hurt his feelings, but nah. Or you try it, tall boy. put in the comments 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, please put in the comments. Let us know what you think, and we definitely would love to see how you respond to Techie's to how Techie did tonight. All right. Thank you so much. All right, got one more thing, and then we're gonna be up out of here. Let's see what we have. So we literally talked about what was Chat GPT. We almost took a whole hour in that, and then we were gonna go in a different direction, but we did the Q&A. So when we did the Q&A, it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. So you guys are really just coming in with that fire. I definitely appreciate the ones who are true fans and true supporters of the show. I normally don't ask you guys for any money. You guys know that the Cash App is in the top right-hand corner. So if you guys would like the Cash App, you can do that by putting that information in the top right-hand corner. But this show is here to just simplify tech in a language that you understand. And like I said, we're in the process of creating and rebuilding the whole brand. So hopefully you guys will continue to share, tell, and advocate for this show. It really means a lot to me because I know that we're bringing value, and I know that this tech goes over a lot of people's heads. So we definitely want people to partake in in learning and embracing it. And like I said, we have some more surprises coming up in the near future. So that's pretty much it. Techie, any parting words before I do a recap?
Yeah, definitely. I want to just add one last thing about AI technology with the GPT-4, that you can take a picture now of a refrigerator and it will then give you information about what you should make with it. So the technology is getting more and more and more specific, and it's going to be really interesting to see what's happening. So keep an eye out on news stories, because now as everybody else hears the news stories, you are already educated because you came here tonight, and we've just demystified that artificial intelligence, that you're going to be able to tell your relatives and family exactly what AI is all about, at least to what your understanding is right now. So I appreciate every single one of you for tuning up tonight. It was so important.
You already know.
Guys, real briefly, we talked about the Chat GPT. We had Rebus's word of the day, which was Nadir. So please find a way to use it in a sentence this week. Challenge yourself. It's at your lowest point, or the worst or lowest point of something. So find a way to use that in a sentence, or use that word and impress some of your fans and your friends and your colleagues. Hit them with the nadir and make them say, "What did you say?" So, and then we also had Techie's Q&A session. Maybe we can get you back next month sometime, Techie. And if you're open to it, I'm down to have you back. Definitely thank you so much for hanging out with us. And like I said, outside of that, we will try to find some. I'll find a way to recap some of this content. We got to find a way to get Techie on the screen with a more solid, stable connection so you can actually see him in real time. But you could hear him, and that's all that really matters. So without further ado, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It is the Lab Tech Show. Check out the outro. What they say?
You already know.